Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's try to do it using dimensions. Okay, dimensionally. So let's say that this is some x over here, right? So now we can say that x is equal to what? X can be written as 1 joule upon ERG, isn't it? 1 ERG. And we know that joule is the unit of which term, students? What is the what is measured in joules? What are we measuring in joules?
Energy.
Energy,
And
isn't it? So you can remove any formula. E is equal to mc square or whatever you want to remove. So if you get E is equal to mc square, you know that this is of course mass and this is velocity. So of course you can say that the dimension of joule will be m1, and it's going to be the velocity will be displacement upon time, and it's the square of
M2.
it. So it will be L square t minus 2, isn't it? This is
Yes,
what we
sir.
will get upon 1 ERG. Now 1 ERG will be what? Of course, now since I spoke about homogeneity, isn't it? We spoke about the principle of homogeneity. That is LHS should be equal to RHS here. So we will get the similar, we will get quite the same dimension over here. Let's call this M1, L1, T1. So in this case, it will be M2, L2 square and T2 raised to minus 2. Isn't it? We will get this. So now if you see, you can divide each term, you can divide each term in such format. You can bring this in this format, M1 upon M2, and then you can bring this format here, that's L1 upon L2 whole square, and T1 upon T2 whole raised to minus 2. Now here is the important part, students. Here joule was in which system of unit? It was in SI unit, and ERG was in which unit? It was CGS unit. So as soon as you look at SI unit, CGS unit, you should know that okay, this ERG is in CGS unit. So the mass will be in what? Mass will be in gram, length will be in centimeters, and T will be in seconds. And joule, of course, you know it is mass, kilogram, and seconds again. So accordingly, you write down the units. Accordingly, you write down the units. So M1 is kg, M2 is G, L1 is what? L1 is meters, L2 is centimeters, L3 is, of course, square here. L3 is what? Second upon second, doesn't matter. If you see here, this is of no use, negligible. Kg upon G, of course, you're going to get what? How many grams is K? How many grams is 1 kg? 10 raised to 3 grams. You can
Hmm.
also view it, students, like a shortcut, which I'm going to tell you. The shortcut here is like this. See, this K can be written as what? K in kg can be written as 10 raised to 3 G. This K can be replaced by 10 raised to 3. Oh, wait, you're not able to. This K is kg I have written here. This kg can be, this K can be represented by 10 raised to 3. So it becomes 10 raised to 3 grams. So K can always be equal to 10 raised to 3. Similarly, when you're talking about centimeter, when you talk about centimeter, the C in the centimeter, right? The C over here can be written as 10 raised to minus 2, and it will become meter. What remains is meter. So C can be written down as 10 raised to minus 2. So these are two shortcuts which you can remember, that K is equal to 10 raised to 3 and C is equal to 10 raised to minus 2. Substitute that over here, and you will get quite a good, you'll get a good answer regarding this. So of course, we can see over here that K can be written as what? It can be written as 10 raised to 3. So remove this and write 10 raised to 3 here. And then you can see gram and gram gets cancelled. Meter, of course, centimeter C, you can write it as 10 raised to minus 2. 10 raised to minus 2, when you write here, of course, you can take this 10 raised to minus 2 on top. And so it will become what? 10 raised to 2, isn't it? 10 raised to 2. And meter again gets cancelled. So what remains? 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to 2 whole square. 10 raised to 3, don't forget there's a square here. Of course, L1 upon L2 whole square. So it is going to be what? 10 raised to 3 into 10 raised to 2 into 2, 4. So it is ultimately going to give you 10 raised to 3 plus 4, because exponents add in this case, and it's going to be 10 raised to 7. So of course, now what we were finding out? X. So X is what? X is equal to 10 raised to 7. Substitute that value right over here, and you will get X is equal to 10 raised to 7. So 1 joule is equal to how many times 1 ERG? 10 raised to 7 ERG. Okay, so this is how, in case students you forget, how many units, how much is 1 joules equal to? So many times you'll be coming across so many types of conversion factors, right? And so to remember it, might be a little bit difficult. And so if you forget, you can apply the same concept here and you can find out what the conversion factors are going to be. Let's look at another example, students. This is quite a good thing to practice. Okay, easy and good. Let's look at this one particular question. This question states that the value of acceleration. Okay, uh, don't get carried away with the terminology used in the question, students. That is one thing I will tell you here. All you have to find out is a proper key idea inside the question. Look here. The value of acceleration due to gravity is 980 centimeter per second square. Okay, what will be its value if the unit, what will be its value if the unit of length in kilometer and that of time is minute? So what they're saying, basically what they're saying is that they have given us that gravity due to acceleration, let's call that g, is given as 980, okay, centimeter per second square, and they're telling us that what will be its value, what will be the value if I want to change the length here from centimeters to kilometers, okay, and from seconds to what was given, minutes. So what will be this value in terms of kilometers and meters? That's what they're asking. Okay, so minutes. Yeah. So how will be my approach? How will it be? How will I approach this sum? Simple. Look here. It's a simple thing. You can see here that g is equal to 980 centimeter upon second square. Just write that properly. 980 centimeter upon second square can be written as s into s. Yes, there's no problem with that. Okay. Now what you have to do? Convert second to minute. Okay. 1 minute is how many seconds? 60 seconds. Yes or no? 1 minute is 60 seconds. So if I divide and multiply it by 60 over here and by 60 over here. Okay, look here. This was s into s. So I will write 60s into 60s upon 60 into 60. So what that means, this 60, 60 anyways gets cancelled, isn't it? So it's the same thing. It is the same thing as centimeter upon second square. But students, here see, I got one thing I got one thing already. What is that? 60 seconds, 1 minute. I got it in terms of minute square already. Okay, this is how we can approach the problem. Second thing, students, if you have to convert, yes.
So why did you multiply 60 into 60 in the numerator?
See, look here. See, 980, what is given? 980 centimeter upon second square, na? Centimeter upon second square. So I wrote down this centimeter as s into s. So if I multiply, see, look here. What is our goal? What is the question? This centimeter per second square, I have to convert it into kilometer upon minute square. Kilometer upon minute square. That is my goal. Okay, that is my goal. So how will I convert? Look here. These are shortcuts I'm telling you. This if I know that 1 minute is what? 1 minute here is 60 seconds. 60 seconds. So if I just multiply and divide it by 60 into 60, suppose I just do it. So I say centimeter into 60 upon 60s into 60s. Okay, that is s and s as it is. I just multiplied and divided it here. So you can see here that 60 seconds is of course 1 minute. 60 seconds here is 1 minute. So here my goal, which was to convert, first goal was second to minute. I already converted it. 2 minutes. I already converted in 2 minutes. And if I keep 60 and 60 in the numerator, of course, this entire thing is basically this one, isn't it? Is the doubt clear?
Okay.
Is the doubt clear?
So,
Okay. So look here, little bit difficulty, no problem. Look at the video which I'll be posting up again. Okay, anyway, so if I got this, okay, now next thing is to convert this centimeter to kilometer. How can I convert it into kilometers now? First, let's say that centimeter here is what, students? Centimeter can be converted into meters by how many meters? 10 raised to minus 2 meters,
110.
isn't it? 1 centimeter is 10 raised to minus 2 meters, isn't it? I told you already that centimeter in C, here C can be written as 10 raised to minus 2, and you will get this result here, 10 raised to minus 2 meters. Substitute that over there simply. Don't do the calculation, just substitute it. Okay, instead of that, instead of this here, I will write it here is equal to centimeters ke jagah pe I will write 10 raised to minus 2 meters into 60 upon 60 seconds into 60 seconds. Okay, no problem writing it like this. No problem writing it like this. But anyways, what was this? Here 980 was there, na? 980 was there, isn't it? 980 into this. Yes or no? So now 980 into 10 raised to minus 2 is what, students? Can I write it as 9.8? Yes or no? 980 into 10 raised to minus 2, I can write it as what? I can write it as 9.8. What else I have? 9.8 what, students? What will it be? 9.8 into this meters is there. 60 into 60 is there. I will write 60 into 60 here. Upon 60 seconds into 60 seconds as it is. I wrote on that. Okay. I just wrote that 10 raised to minus 2 meters into 980 will give me 9.8. Now you have to convert this into kilometers. This meters into kilometers. If I multiply and divide it by k, if I multiply it and divide it by k here, that is, let me, since there's no space, I will write it here. Okay, just give me a second, students. Look here. Look here, look here. If the same thing here, I write it as 9.8, this was meters, and this was 60 into 60, and of course this was upon 60 seconds into 60 seconds. Yes or no? 60 seconds. If I multiply and divide it by k, that is, if I say this is k here, and I divide it also by k, okay, k is what, students? K is 10 raised to 3. 10 raised to 3, isn't it? So now open it up, open everything up. Instead of k, we will write it as 10 raised to 3, except for this. See, I already got kilometers here. I already got minute here. What remains is this k and this 60 into 60, isn't it? So we will open that up. So we will get what? 9.8 kilometers into 60 into 60 upon this k can be written as 10 raised to 3. So write it as 1000 into 60 can be written as what? It can be written as minute, isn't it? 1 minute, 1 minute. So I can write it as minute square. No problem. Just solve this problem. This is going to be how much? Tell me, calculate and tell me how much is it going to be. How much are you getting? So you're getting 9.8 into 6 into 6, 36 upon 10. And of course, it's going to be kilometer upon meters upon minute square. So you're going to get how much with this? Tell me, how much are you getting? You will get 35.28.
35.28.
Yes, sir. 35.28.
35.28
Sir,
kilometers upon minute square. Kilometers upon minute square. So this is one way, students, of converting centimeter into second square. I will just repeat how I did it. Look here. This centimeter upon second square is there. My question is telling me to convert it into kilometers upon meter square. All I did was first I took 60 into 60 upon 60 into 60. I just did it. Okay. Now by dividing it by 60 into 60, what happened? This one term became minute. This one term became minute. So I can substitute this by 1 minute. I can substitute this by 1 minute. Later on, what was there? There was minute here, right? Sorry, there was meter here. So I had to convert that into kilometer. I just multiplied and divided it by kilometers. And so I got this result that, okay, k kilometers, I can keep it as it is. And this I can keep it as it is. Rest everything I can play games around with. This I can write as 10 raised to 3. And this is, I can just solve this. That's what I've done. So ultimately I'm getting kilometers upon meter square. But if still this is not understood by some of y'all, then no problem. We can do it dimensionally also. Dimensionally, it can be understood in this way. Dimensionally, you can understand it this way, that 980 centimeter upon second square. Okay, I have to convert it into kilometers upon minute. So I will write it. It is equal to x times kilometers upon minute square. Yes or no? I can write it like this. Now same thing. So x is equal to what? X is equal to 980, of course, and it's going to be centimeter upon second square whole upon kilometer upon minute square. This entire thing will go up, isn't it? So I'll take a reciprocal of it. So I will just rub this here. Instead of writing it here, I will write the reciprocal of it on top, and that is going to be minute square upon kilometers. Just the same thing I've written down. Okay, now you know. Look here. 1 minute. What did I do? Did I do some mistake? Yeah. Okay. This is what we got. Now see, students. Now just rearrange this. Look here how the trick is. How the trick is. Centimeter and kilometer are here, so I will write centimeter upon kilometer. Just rearranging it, and this minute is here. Minute square is here. Second is here. I can do this now. No problem. I can do it. Now look here. By how much will this cut? By how much will this cut? Look here. Centimeter is here. You can understand.
10 raised to 5.
If you are not getting it, 980. Look here. This centimeter can be written as 10 raised to minus 2 meter upon what can be written as 10 raised to 3 meter. Ultimately, what you will get? Ultimately, 1 centimeter is how many times a kilometer? 1 upon 10 raised to 5, isn't it? 1 upon 10 raised to 5 kilometers. Okay, convert it. And how much will this be? How much is 1 minute equal to? How many seconds? 60 seconds. So I can write
3600.
Yeah, I can write 60 since it is square here. Students, take the square outside. So let's take the square outside. 60 seconds upon seconds. This seconds and seconds anyway it gets cut. The square is there. 60 into 60 is 3600. Yes or no? So you can solve this problem. 980 into 1 upon 10 raised to 5 into 3600 also will give me the same thing, 35.3 kilometers per second. Per minute square, sorry. Okay, so this is how you can solve it using dimensions. There are 2 methods I have shown you. Okay, 2 methods. Whichever you feel is fast, you can apply that. Is there any doubt in this for any student till now? In any problem here? Okay. If there is any, you can please let me know. You can interrupt me, and I will solve. Every student's doubt is valid for me. Okay, so if you feel that you want to send a message privately, that also you can do. Analysis used, students. Look at this sum now. Okay, how is dimensional analysis used? If suppose you are given that this pressure, there is pressure, okay, and it is proportional to some density, it is proportional to some gravity, but they have not given you the exponent. For example, if I say E is equal to m, if I say that E is proportional to m and it is also proportional to C, but I have not experienced A and B. One. Similarly, they have given a sum here. They have told you that pressure is proportional to some height, to some density, and to some value of some gravity, but they have not given dimensions. Basically, you can find out using dimensional analysis. You can find out times are the exponents by what are the exponents raised to each of these elements. We can also find that out. So dimensional analysis can be used for several things. Okay. So let's say that for us in question it is given that pressure is somewhat related to height, it's somewhat related to some density and gravity. We have to find out by how much is it equal to. Let's say that is proportional. Okay, we have to find out by how much it is equal to. So let's say the pressure is proportional to some height raised to A. Pressure is proportional to some density raised to B. We don't know what A, B is. Pressure is also proportional to gravity raised to some C. Okay, as easy as it gets. So using these 3 terms, of course, we are going to get P is proportional to H raised to A, P is proportional to density raised to B, and P is proportional to gravity raised to C. Now, if you remove, students, generally, let me tell you something, that when you remove the sign of proportionality and when you convert it into equality, when you remove the sign of proportionality and you write equality, there is always some constant which comes. Okay, this constant is basically put whenever you convert proportionality into equality, and this is some constant. Don't worry, if you're not getting this also, no problem. K is K into rest of the thing, that is H raised to A, density raised to B, okay, and gravity raised to C. Now I am using the words height, density, that also you don't need to do. Okay, all you have to look at is terms. Now look here. Now look here. Now we have to remove the dimensions, isn't it? Let's try to remove the dimensions. So the first thing is we'll put this into a bracket. Okay, since there is no space, I will write here. P is equal to K times dimension of H raised to A, density raised to B, and some gravity raised to C. Okay, these are my dimensions. So I know that pressure here, now I'll apply the principle of homogeneity. What I will use? Principle of homogeneity. Homogeneity says that the dimension on my LHS will be equal to dimension of each term on the RHS. So if I know the dimension on LHS, and I can say that the dimension of RHS also will be same, then I can equate both of them and I can find out what A is. That's so simple to do. Look here. For example, students, look here. On the LHS, there is what? Pressure. Okay, pressure. Pressure is what, students? Pressure is equal to force upon area. Force upon area. So what will be the dimensions of this force is what? Kg meter per second square. So yes or no? Kg meter per second square. So you are going to get M1 kg meter 1 per second square. I took second up, isn't it? And area is what, students? Area is, you can say area is 2 times the length, so L square. Take it up, students. What will you get? You will get M1. L raised to 1 minus 2 is minus 1 and T raised to minus 2. This is my dimension of pressure. Okay. So if this is my dimension of pressure, students, if this is my dimension of pressure, then I can say that, okay, let's also look at this another way. Okay. Let's also look at it in another way. Look at pressure is basically this. Next is what? Height. Height will be what, students? What will be the dimension of height? L raised to 1.
L raised
to 1. L. And it, of course, this L is going to be L raised to A. Isn't it? L raised to A. Then density is what? Density is what? Mass upon volume. Mass upon volume.
ML minus 3.
M. And upon L raised to 3, I took L raised to minus 3 on top. Of course, density is proposed, having some exponent which is B. And gravity, students, gravity, yesterday we found out. What was it equal to?
LT minus 2.
Does anyone remember? Gravity, okay. Gravity is also known as acceleration. Okay. So that should make it easy for you. Acceleration is meter per second square. So gravity will be equal to
LT minus.
Yes, gravity is also known as LT raised to minus 2. So all these dimensions, students, which we found out for pressure, height, density, and gravity, substitute all of them. Substitute all of them. What will you get? What will you get? You will get this. That is M1, L raised to minus 1, T raised to minus 2. This is the dimension of pressure equal to constant times H, that was L raised to some A. And then we had another one, that is density, that was somewhere around M, L raised to minus 3. Okay, B. Okay, and gravity was LT raised to minus 2. LT raised to minus 2, and that was C. Now look here. What we can do on the RHS, students, take out M. What is M here? M. Forget this constant K. Forget it. Okay, let's not worry about that. What is M here? M B. M raised to B, isn't it? Just separate everything. L will be what? L is equal to A, and another L is here minus 3B, isn't it? Minus 3B. And another L is there plus C, isn't it? Plus C also is there. L is here, L is here, L is here. And what about T, students? T is what? T raised to minus 2C. Yes or no? This is what we got. Equate each of this to the left hand side. M1, L minus 1, T raised to minus 2. What will you get? For M, it is equal to, M is equal to what, students? M raised to B equal to, M raised to B equal to M raised to 1. So I can equate the exponents. B is equal to 1. Okay. Next you can do for length. Length is what? L is equal, A raised to minus 3B plus C equals to L raised to minus 1. So A minus 3B plus C equals to minus 1. Third equation is what for T? T is minus 2C. I will do it directly. Minus 2C is equal to minus 2. So what is the value of C, students, from here? C will be, of course, 1.
1.
If you got B as 1 and C as 1, then what is A? Do it, substitute and tell me what is A.
1.
A is also 1. So now A is also 1. So basically, now since we have got all the exponents, students, that A, B, and C is equal to 1, then I can say that the relationship of pressure, which is with respect to height, let's say P, which is equal to some K times h raised to a, density raised to b, gravity raised to c is all equal to k, h, density and z, all raised to 1. This is going to be my relationship. Hence, the equation is proved that P is proportional to H, density, and Z. Of course, when I convert it back into proportionality, constant will go out again. So this was our question to prove this equation, and hence this is proved. Okay, hence this entire equation is proved. So I hope you have understood this. I hope you all have got this. Let's look at the similar question. Let's look at similar question. Another one. This time I hope you will solve it. For example, this is the question. The question is, listen to me. It has been deserved. It has been derived that velocity of ripple waves produced in water depends on their wavelength, density, and surface tension. You forget the question, all that is given. That is just for confusing. What is given is prove. In the end of the question, they have written prove V square is proportional to S upon density and wavelength. Okay. Now listen to me. Also, this is given that wavelength is basically length only. What is wavelength? Length only. Density, you know, and surface tension is what, students? Surface tension is, this all will be given to you. Don't worry. Surface tension is also equal to force upon length. Okay. So this is all given in the question. So you don't need to worry. You know, this is what? Velocity. This is surface tension. This is what? Density. Density, you know what density is. And lambda, I'm telling you, is length only. Basically, when you consider a wave like this, okay, you will learn this very soon. If there is a wave like this, then this is going to be my wavelength. Wavelength will be one entire period from here to here. Okay, from here to here. That will be your wavelength. So you can consider dimensionally that it is L. Students, try to find out now. Try to find out what it's going to be. So look here. If I look at this point, I can say that V is proportional. Forget V square. I know V is proportional to lambda times some A. It can be -1. Okay, whatever. Density times, let's say it is B. Surface tension raised to C. It is equal to this. Ultimately, I should solve all this and I should get this. I should get this equation. So what I will do again, I know what is the dimension of velocity. What is it, students? Displacement upon time. That is, tell me, LT raised to LT raised to -1. Let's also say that this is equal to some constant. I change the proportionality sign. Lambda is what, students? I told you it is length. Consider length, so we'll say L raised to A. L raised to A. Okay. Density is mass upon volume. That is L. That is going to be, mass is going to be m raised to 1, and then of course volume is going to be L cube, and you will take it up, L raised to -3 and raised to B. And surface tension is force upon length. Students, find out what is the dimension of this. It is going to be what, students? Everyone calculate. Force is what? Kg meter per second square, isn't it? So it is going to be m1 kg. Meter is what? Length 1, and second square is t raised to -2 upon length L. Upon length L, cut the L out. So you are going to get m t raised to -2. Substitute that over there. What will you get? M t raised to -2 whole raised to some c. Whole raised to some c. Okay, this is what you will get. Okay, I hope you all are able to see it. So now what you all can do? See where all L is and take it out and solve the exponents. So I'll write it on top here. So L t raised to -1 equals to, let's say L is there. Forget the constant here, K. Forget it. L raised to A. Where else L is there? -3B. Where else L is there? Nowhere else, isn't it? Now, if we have got this, find out the other one. What is that? What else we can find out? Mass we can find out. M. M is what here? M raised to B. M raised to C. So it is going to be B plus C. Yes or no? B and C. And T is what? T is raised to -2C. T is raised to -2C. So now equate the exponents. What is L? A minus 3B equals to 1, isn't it? This is equal to 1. Of course, this is 1. And second equation is
K is equal to
B plus C equal to
Minus
0 because mass is not there only, mass raised to 0. So B plus
Hmm.
C is equal to 0. And what else we'll get? T is minus 2C equals to T raised to minus 1. So minus 1. Find out what is A, B, and C with this. Everyone find out what is A, B, and
A
C.
minus 1 by 2, B minus 1 by 2, C 1 by 2.
Wow.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
same.
So everyone got it? Everyone got it? Okay. So students, listen to me. Timing is important. Timing. How fast you solve is important. Okay. Even understanding the question is very important. But in your exams, everything is based on time. Basically, trying to measure the amount of time in which you can solve a question and understand a question. So practice. Okay. Practice makes a person perfect. So, anyways, you're getting A. Tell me again. A is equal to what you got?
Minus 1 by 2,
Minus
Okay.
B minus 1 by 2, C 1 by 2.
And C 1 by 2. So students, I can say that V which I was trying to find out, V was proportional to some lambda times A, okay, and then it was proportional to density times B and some surface tension raised to C. Substitute the value, students, you will get lambda raised to minus 1 by 2, density raised to minus 1 by 2, and surface tension raised to 1 by 2. So if I say that V is equal to some if I solve this here, you can see here that it is going to be under root because raised to half is under root, of course, and you can see here surface is on top upon lambda into density. This is what we'll get. You take the square of this. If you take the square of this, we get the basic equation which we are trying to prove, that V square, okay, is equal to or is proportional to S upon lambda times delta. Isn't this what we had to prove?
Yes,
Isn't
sir.
this what we had to
Yes,
prove?
sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
you understood how to solve these problems?
Yes,
Has
sir.
everyone cleared
Yes,
it out?
sir.
Yes, sir.
So now, if this is understood, since there is only 3 minutes left, students, if you have any doubt, please let me know. There is only 3 minutes or 2 minutes left. So let's say you have to find out this question. This is for homework, students. Velocity, listen to the question. Velocity of light is V, force is F, and time is T. Velocity of light is V, force is F, and time is T are taken as fundamental dimensions. The dimensions of mass in the system will be what? So what will be mass if it is proportional to velocity, force, and time? You have to find out the exponents and tell me. Find out the exponents and tell me. So we can do it now. Can we do it now?
yes.
Can we do it now? So tell me, what is the dimension of mass, students? M raised to 1. Of course, put it in the brackets, huh?
Yes,
What is the
sir.
What is the dimension of RHS now? What is the dimension of velocity? Meter
LT
per.
minus 1.
What is the dimension of force? Of course, this is raised to A, B, and C because we don't know that. So A, B is what? Tell me, force is what? L,
A minus
ML,
1, B 1, C
ML
2.
T raised to minus 2, and T is going to be T raised to 1, of course, and it's equal to C. Please equate this and let me know what is it going to be. So you can
A
see here.
minus 1,
No.
B
You're
1,
telling me
and
the
C
answer
2.
directly. I get it. But students, for those who don't know, look here. M raised to A plus, of course, this is B. And this is L minus A. Okay. And it's going to be plus B. And T is going to be equal to what? Minus 2B plus C, isn't it? So equate all of this. Equate all of this with this exponent that is 1. And like the student who told me the answer, tomorrow you have to tell me the answer, students. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Please practice the sums. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Sir.